I live on the top floor. So what's making noise above me? Living in a dorm, rushing to classes, studying with friends and getting drunk at parties. That's what I thought my college experience would be like, but I was absolutely wrong. I was starting my freshman year at my dream college and I was so ready to leave my parents and start living life on my own. My roomie, Katie, met me at the front of the dorm. She was such a sweetheart and we were texting each other all month getting to know each other. As soon as I turned the corner I heard a loud, excited shriek. "Jamie!" She screamed at me while running in for a hug. "Oh, hey Katie." I was barely able to let the words out as she constricted me in her arms. As she released me we both laughed and prepared to go into the building. It was an extremely old dorm, stained bricks and old wooden doors greeted us as we prepared to go inside. It wasn't the nicest looking place to stay but it was in the best location, close enough to not have to rush to class but in a spot that's surprisingly secluded. As soon as we entered, we were welcomed by the groans of the elevator. When we eventually went inside we pressed the button to our dorm room, 7, top floor. The elevator creaked and shook as it pulled us upwards. I was so afraid something would snap and we'd be crashing down. As I looked around the elevator I noticed something at the bottom right corner of the door. It was something written, no scratched onto it, and it was red. "Come. Play. With. Me." Katie read slowly aloud in a monotone voice. Then she bursted out laughing. "Ooh no, they put us in the haunted dorm," she joked. That comment helped me compose myself. PSH, yeah, grow up. I chuckled. The door opened and we saw the long stretch of hallway that broke to a T-shape, 4 rooms at both sides, so there were 8 dorm rooms altogether. We strolled over to ours 7C and settled in immediately. Honestly, we were pretty fortunate to find a place this spacious for just being a square with 2 beds. We spent the rest of the day chatting about nothing. I woke up early the next morning to the sound of rustling coming from the opposite side of me. When I opened my eyes I saw a figure resting on the floor near Katie's bed. I let out a scream and was met with another terrified scream. I rushed to grab my phone and turned on my flashlight. I saw Katie in her pajamas lying on the ground clutching her chest. "You scared the shit out of me," Katie shouted. "I'm so fucking sorry, I don't know what I was thinking." She laughed. "Sorry, I was just looking for my hairbrush. I didn't want to wake you up so I tried to look for it in the dark." "No, I'm sorry for freaking out like that. Why are you up so early anyways?" "Ugh. I guess some people started partying early. I just kept hearing noises all night. Luckily I got a little bit of sleep." She sighed. "I swear I had my brush in here but I can't find it. Can I use yours?" Yeah, look in my bag over there." I yawned. "I guess I'll get ready too." "What kind of noises?" "Just a bunch of footsteps I guess. I used to live in an apartment so I guess people walking around upstairs shouldn't be an issue," Katie explained. "Katie, this is the top floor, remember? This place is old so I suppose there are some noises every now and then." Eventually I heard the noises too, and when I told the head office about it they shrugged it off and nothing was settled. Later on I decided to investigate our floor to see if there was some kind of, I'm not sure exactly, the noises were always late at night and sometimes I was woken up by them. Maybe some kind of animal was stuck or something, who knows? I did find something though. I wouldn't even think about it really, but there's a small metal hatch door on the roof with a padlock on it. Maybe it was just some kind of storage area like an attic? I didn't pay much mind to it. So we went on with our lives like normal and eventually made friends with some other girls that lived in our dorm, Jessica and Amanda from 2B who we met on the elevator, and Ellen from 5D who was in my psych class. Things were amazing for the next month or so until October came around. We were all eating lunch outside of the dining hall at a small table. "Y'all going to the party at Alpha Sig tonight?" Amanda asked. Ellen rolled her eyes. "No way in hell. Those guys are complete assholes," she grumbled. "Don't be bitchy because you didn't have your way with Jason," Katie teased as Ellen responded by flipping her off. "Leave her alone, she's grumpy after losing her toothbrush this morning," Jessica explained. "And I had to avoid talking to people all fucking morning because I running late and didn't have time to buy a toothbrush," Ellen grumbled. "Yeah, actually, some of my stuff has been disappearing too. Nothing too crazy, just small stuff like some mints and a keychain," Jessica explained. "I lost another freaking hairbrush," Katie huffed. At that moment I started to think back at some of my things that went missing. A cute Beatles shirt, some eyelash extensions, and I think a pair of underwear. We all had some stuff that went missing in the dorms, and it wasn't just us. Everyone that lived in the building had things just disappear, but they were all pretty minor things so nothing was reported. We finished our lunch and went about the rest of the day, not knowing how much worse things will be. It started that very night after the Alpha Sig party. I ended up joining Katie, Amanda, and Jessica to the frat party and we had a pretty good time. I'm a lightweight, so just a couple of shots and I'm almost out of it, so I had a small drink and danced away. Eventually 3 a.m. crept up and I decided to go home, but the girls wanted to keep on going, so I ended up leaving by myself. The dorm wasn't that far away and I was too buzzed to care, to be honest. As I walked back to the dorm, I scrolled through the pictures that I'd taken from tonight, and before I knew it I was already in front of the elevator, groaning as it came down to the first floor. I hopped in and pressed the 7 button, my eyes immediately going back to my phone. A few seconds passed and I realized that the elevator was not going up, no groans, and the door was still open. I looked up and I felt the blood drain from my face. Standing at the elevator door was a tall girl with long disheveled hair that obscured her face, slowly walking in. She stood right beside me, and I couldn't help but examine her. Her hair was long and wild. She looked like the girl from The Ring, but her hair was all puffed out and it had sections of different colors. Some parts were blonde, some were brunette, and she had patches of red hair. Her clothes were filthy. She wore a black shirt that was pretty large on her and her jeans were extremely tight to where they were tearing at the joints. She had a sandal on her left foot and a tennis shoe on her right. Both didn't fit her feet. I noticed how rude I was being. I don't know her situation. Maybe she was having a crazy night? What floor are you going to? I warily asked, but she didn't respond at all. I guess the 7th. Still no response. The elevator creaked shut and it proceeded to go up to the 7th floor. I couldn't help but stare at her. She kept her head down and her wild hair covered all of her features. I'm positive I've never seen this girl before, and even if I did, I'm absolutely sure I would remember someone that looked like this. So you're on the 7th floor? Which room are you in? I asked, hoping she'd at least answer to relieve this awkward tension. But nothing. I tried to slyly point my phone towards her so I can send it to the other girls, at least Ellen, because she stayed in tonight. It's 3 a.m, I know, but maybe she knows who this person is. As I pointed my phone towards her, trying to make it look like I was taking a selfie, she made a horrifying noise. It sounded like laughter, but it was like she was inhaling and it croaked as the air went through her throat. Ha! 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 I immediately pushed my phone into my purse. What if this person doesn't even live here? Are they following me back to my room? Fuck, I'm screwed. What if she has a knife or something? I noticed that she was slowly shuffling closer towards me. And I tried to make myself small and push myself into the corner close to the doors. The girl started to breathe heavier as she got closer to me. I could see large droplets of water splashing onto the floor and I saw that it was coming from her. I think she was drooling. She outstretched her arms towards the walls behind me. She had me cornered, and as I got lower I looked up to see her face, but large droplets of warm saliva splashed onto me, obscuring my vision. The doors were barely open as I squeezed through whatever exit was available. I turned to see them slowly get out of the elevator. Again I heard that disgusting inhaled laughter. It was followed by something I absolutely didn't want to hear. Their voice was disturbing. Imagine someone trying to force their vocal cords into making a high-pitched tone. It sounded almost like a crow cawing. "Kumi, play with me," she shrieked. I absolutely lost it. I ran as fast as I could, slamming to the end of the hallway and taking a right towards the hallway leading to my dorm. As I got to the door I fumbled my keys to get it open, and I looked over towards the corner and I saw hands slowly reach around the corner. I finally got the door opened and jumped inside, slamming the door behind me. After I locked the door I was frozen in place for I don't know how long, pressing all my body weight into the door. I was afraid that she, or honestly whatever that thing was, could get inside. That is when I heard a small click. I saw that my door was unlocking and I felt a light push on my back. "What the hell?" I heard a slurred voice come out. It was Katie. Oh, thank God it was Katie. I opened the door and pulled her inside, not even peeking my head out to see if that thing was there. Katie was completely confused and a bit drunk, but when I explained to her what happened she sobered up. She said she didn't see anyone when she came in, but she saw how shaken up I was and believed me. We didn't know what to do, so we actually just pushed one of our beds towards the door and we slept together in the other one. We were just scared. We tried to sleep and that was when we heard very light creaking above us.